These books have to go. In 2025, I did a personal challenge. I created a personal challenge. I created the page by page challenge to make me more intentional about the books that I buy and actually go through my TBR. Anything colored in is what I have gone through. And I was very proud of the progress that we made last year. Through that time, I've been going through my books, choosing books that don't align with my reading taste anymore, finding books that I just don't want on my shelves anymore. This year, our page by page project is starting with 121 books. I have been making really good progress this month so far in January of getting this started. But because I have been unhauling books from my TBR for a year now, it is time that I actually do the work and get these books out of my very small apartment. This is a collection of books that have been everywhere, and I am selling all of them over on my Pengo Books. It is linked in the description. All of these books are going to be listed for $5 or less, depending on the condition. So if you want some cheap books, go head over there. I've been trying to be really intentional about actually reading the books that I buy and not letting them sit on my shelves for, at this point, 6 years. I've been back into reading since 2019. I feel like I still bought majority of these books in like 2020 and 2021. So that's 5 and 6 years ago now. And it's just been way too long. And my reading taste has changed. When I started back into my reading journey, I was 18, now I'm 24. That is a big difference in terms of just life experience and just what I want to consume as media. A lot of books, especially a lot of I was on Bookstagram in 2020, and a lot of that culture was to just buy books that were popular at the time. And I fell for that, and I'm trying to be really intentional now to make up for that, of using my local library and seeing where else I can source books and only keeping the ones on my shelves that I absolutely truly love. So, let's get through this because we have a lot of books, and these will all be listed on my Pengo. Also, if you have not already, please subscribe and like this video, and comment below if you've read any of these and you really like them, or if you really want to read any of these. I am sorry for influencing your TBR and adding even more books to it, but some of these are really fun. So, Spence, we're gonna ignore him. Yeah, we're ignoring you. Look at you with your frizzy ears. You're gonna be so staticky. No, you're good. Okay, no static. Okay, I have already filmed this video, and I have decided that that attempt was really boring. So we're gonna redo this, and we're gonna make it more casual. Let's go through these books. I'm gonna split this up by books that I have read and books that I haven't read. So let's go through the books that I have not read first, starting with the 15 lives of Harry August. Why am I unhauling this? This is a sci-fi, and I was interested in it at the time, but I also didn't read any sci-fi at the time that I got this book, and this was a suggestion from a friend. So I bought it, and then never got around to reading it, and then since have discovered what I actually do like in sci-fi. So unhaul. We got this. Covet. This is either book 2 or 3. I don't know which one of Crave, and I enjoyed Crave, but not enough to actually read the rest of the series. Also, it has like the is that like deckled edges? Is that what it's called? When it's like all different, like the pages are like different sizes. I really like that look. But yeah. I can't tell if this is a boring video concept. So y'all in the comments are gonna have to tell me if this is a boring video concept of just listening to why I'm getting rid of books. Okay, Ties That Tether. I don't know anything about this book. When a Nigerian woman falls for a man she knows will break her mother's heart, she must choose between love and her family. It sounds good, but I've had this on my shelf for literal years. This is a October 2020 book from Book of the Month, and it's not getting read. So, but it sounds really interesting. That's a cool premise. Actually, this low-key sounds like something I would be interested in now. Okay. You know what? This is going back on my TBR because this does sound like something that I would enjoy. So, you know what? Maybe keeping books for 6 years does finally get you interested in them. We're gonna put this on the side, and I have to delete it from Pengo because I already uploaded all these books. So, A Burning. Oh, you know, I did actually attempt to read this book, so this is in the wrong pile. But oh well. Is there like a tagline? No. No tagline. Well, okay, this is a June 2020 book, and I don't remember. I remember like trying the first page and then never picking it up again. It literally, like, the spine isn't even like opened. It is, the font is huge in this book. That's crazy. And it's already like kind of thin, so that's a little wild. But yeah, it's a really pretty cover. I really do like this cover, but I'm just not gonna read it. That's really just like what it is with a lot of these books, is that I've had them for so long, I know I'm not gonna read them. Except this, It's Not Summer Without You. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I was going to make a 24-hour readathon of a 24-hour reading vlog of me reading the whole series, and then that ended because I didn't know that in book 2, which is this actually, so much happens with cancer, and apparently that's triggering for me, so I couldn't finish the series. I didn't even finish this book, but it's a cute edition. I do like these like covers, but it just isn't for me, unfortunately. Waiting for Tom Hanks. This book is a rom-com obsessed romantic waiting for her perfect leading man learns that life doesn't always go according to a script in this delightfully charming and funny novel. This does sound good. Like, it looks cute. It's based on Sleepless in Seattle. I have a lot of thoughts on Sleepless in Seattle that I've mentioned in a lot of videos before. I really hate Sleepless in Seattle. I don't understand how you can have Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks in the same movie and show them for on screen less than 2 minutes together. The fact that she wants Tom Hanks and her like movie of choice of Tom Hanks and Sleepless in Seattle, bit of a red flag. So I will not be reading it, but it is really cute, and it probably is a really good book, to be honest. But I have too many books. I have too little time, so I have to gotta make decisions. Even though I already kept one, but it's fine. Don't worry. Anyway, a little something different. This book looks like a YA romance. Is that accurate? I think so. Copyright 2014. That's a little crazy. Yeah, this is YA. Alright, this is a YA romance. I don't know anything other than that, but I've been kind of steering away from YA romances lately just because I've noticed that I'm getting too old for them. And that makes me really sad. Lynn Painter, I'm not too old for. Rom-com type YA romances are good to go. But YA romances that are like very much just like a high school romance. The cover's really cute though. I have a lot of cute covers because I typically buy books based on the covers. Someone Else's Shoes. I got this from Book of the Month. My mom read it and she did not like it. And that was enough for me to say that I'm not going to try it because we have a lot of similar tastes in books. So Mom, this one's your fault. She watches all my videos, so I hope you know that one's your fault. Infinite Country. This is historical, I think. Yeah, you know what? I don't even know why I chose this from Book of the Month. because this is so not a book that I would read. In 2020 and 2021, I was really finding what I liked. And this is not it. In what past Diana, in what universe would you read a book that looks like this? This is just not even my taste in cover, so I don't know. Book of the month, you did a really good job obviously selling this. I don't remember what it's about, but you must have done a really good job because you got me to a cozy fantasy, cozy romance reader to buy this book. So, good job. Alright, this is gonna be a common theme. Normal People by Sally Rooney. I am getting rid of all my Sally Rooney books. I'm sorry. I cannot read a book without quotes. I don't understand how we have a grammatical system in place and we just ignore it. So, Sally Rooney, you are removed from my library. And I know people absolutely love her books. And I probably could do the audiobook, but I shouldn't have to do the audiobook just to read a book. So, Mexican Gothic. I don't know what this book is about either. The cover is so pretty, but it's just been on my shelves forever and I'm not picking it up. If I do want to read this, I will get it in the library during like spooky season because this is what it feels like in my mind. That could also be wrong and just an assumption. But yeah, I don't need to own it. Ooh. Okay, this one has like it's a art in the cover and that's actually so cool. Low-key kind of think this should have been the cover. I mean, they're both gorgeous, but that's so pretty. Okay. I hope someone enjoys that. That's not me. Dear Justice. I have a lot of books that got really popular during 2020 Black Lives Matter movement. And at the time, I remember being really at the time I only got back into reading like 6 months prior. So I didn't have that many books. I was reading a lot of my backlist, slowly buying new books. And I realized that I didn't actually own a lot of books by people of color. That has greatly changed now as I've just been reading more and am just very intentional about the types of books I consume. I like to choose from different authors of different ethnicities from different countries. I like to choose authors with different identities and stories that have characters of different identities. So my reading now and my reading 6 months into my reading journey, when I was reading just backlogs of things that I had from like high school, is very different. So I went on this kick of buying a bunch of activism books, I would call them. And I've read a lot of them. Some of them I haven't read yet still. But I think that at this point, I'm just very intentional about the stories that I pick in general, that I don't need to hold on to books that I know are not going to be picked up anytime soon. So I have Dear Justice. Once again, this is a book that if I do want to eventually read it, I'll just get it from my library, but I don't need to have it on my shelves. Then I have The Color Purple. Similar story, but I also can't remember if The Color Purple has like I don't remember if The Color Purple is like similar to I don't know. You know how like The Help is like an I'm going to use the word activism because I just can't think of a better word right now. But like an activism book, but like written for white women kind of thing, like written for the audience of white women. I don't know if this is the same, but the cover is gorgeous. And I do think I eventually want to read this. Yeah, I'm going to unhaul this book, but I am more than happy to grab this from the library. Sally Rooney, Conversations with Friends, we know the deal. No quotes. I can't do it. In a Holidays. I have actually attempted this book, so it was also in the wrong pile. But that's fine. Christina Lauren. I've read a couple of books by them. Ooh, we got some bookmarks. How fun. Mind if I couldn't? Love book of the month bookmarks. But in a holidays, I got really confused just from the beginning and then put it down and never wanted to pick it up because I think I remember like they were talking about a family. So I thought that they were all like cousins or something, and then they were kissing, and then I was really confused. That's not actually what happens, but that's like what was happening in my mind, and it made me really uncomfortable. But that's not actually the plot. But someone else should really enjoy this book, and my book club read it, and they all loved it. I was just really confused. Okay, we always have Summer, still a gorgeous edition. I do love Jenny Han's writing. Um, to All the Boys I've Loved Before is one of my favorite series and one that will stay on my shelves pretty much forever, to be honest. But this summer I turned pretty. I just couldn't get through the series, unfortunately. In a book club far away, let's do these three together. In a book club far away, The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina. The Inheritance of Orchidea Divina. Maybe. And A Nearly Normal Family. This is called Book of the Month, made me buy it. Book of the Month, you're really good at describing books. And then they get on my shelf. And sometimes I read them, and sometimes they sit for since 2021 and 2021 and 2019. It's time for these to get a new home because they're not being appreciated here. I also have Crush, which is, I think, the second book in Crave. Yeah, so I think that the red one, whatever that's called. Ah! Whatever the red one was called. That's book 3. This is book 2 of Crave. And it still has deckled. I think deckled is the right word. Pages. So love that. But oh, book of the month. You did it again. When We Were Bright and Beautiful. Diana from the past. In what universe are we reading a book that looks like this? Be realistic. You're not this type of reader. I try so hard to read what I'm not. All right. The Falling in Love montage. Very apparently cute sapphic romance. It is YA. It is a Harper teen. I'm kind of done with my YA teen romance era. But cute cover. It's a theme. The Devil Wears Prada. Mom, this one's also your fault. This is me and my mom's like one of our favorite movies, and we're very excited for the second movie to come out. We are going to see it together in theaters. But she read the book and said that it wasn't as good as the movie. So that was enough for me to say, well, I won't read it. God, I'm so easily persuaded. Speaking of persuasions, we have 2 more book of the months. No, I'm just kidding. It's just another big book. This one's a book of the month. Sister in Arms. Diana, when are you going to read this? Why are you picking up a military... Is this a romance? I don't think this is a romance. Is this a romance? I don't think this is a romance, but that cover, that's giving longing. I'm sorry. Okay. When are you going to ever read a military book? This is to Diana in the past. Everyone else watching? When are you going to read? Why did you choose this in July of 2021? When have you ever liked history enough to read a historical book about a war? Do better. And I do better now, so you know what? I did it. All right, Liberty. Is this the same thing? Is this like a historical novel? Need I say more? I've yelled at myself from the past enough in this video. Honey and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. I've read this. Why? Oh, because a bunch of books just fell. Alright, pretend you didn't see this. I'm putting it back in the pile. Oh, okay. My piles are not structurally sound. And as I grab for these books, oh no. Oh, and I found 2 more books that fell at some point. Well, I have to list this on Pango still, so I guess we're up to 91 books. You know what? Perfect, because I'm gonna unlist Ties That Tether, and I'm gonna list this instead. So we're still at 90 books. Very nice. Fangirl Down. I don't like Disability's writing style, so this was an easy decision. I actually got it, I think, for free when I'm pretty sure I got this one for free when I got a bunch of other books from Facebook Marketplace. They just threw this in, and I hate golf and I hate Disability writing, so it's a pretty easy decision. All right, what am I gonna do with these files? Oh, we gotta make them more structurally sound. Okay, I think that works. You stay there. Okay, A Whole New World. I do not like retellings. Yeah, I struggle with retellings. This is a What If Aladdin Had Never Found the Lamp. Very interesting premise. And it's the Twisted Tale series. But I just don't like retelling, so I'm really not going to read it. I did get it because Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney princess movies. My top are Aladdin, Mulan, and Princess and the Frog. Swipe Right for Murder. I can't believe I own a James Patterson Presents book. That is crazy to me. There are so many videos with like librarians doing Go Patterson instead of Go Fish with all of his different um with all of his different uh author photos, and they're so funny. And I am so disappointed in myself that I own a James Patterson Presents because he didn't write it. So why is his name on it? Anyway, Swipe Right for Murder. I'll move some books to my lap so this goes faster. Not like the movies. This book reminds me of the cover of this book reminds me of a Lynn Painter book. And if I'm gonna read a Lynn if I'm going to read a book like Lynn Painter, I'm just gonna read a Lynn Painter book. As I look around, as the piles are on me, I have to put all these books away. Ugh. I do this to myself. Okay. They're there. This is a classic. This is a book that I got from a friend in my book club many, many years ago. And yeah, I'm not gonna read it. It's been on my shelves for so long. And I was really interested in the premise, but at this point. A Dog's Perfect Christmas. Dog books scare me because I can't read a book or watch a movie where a dog dies. And that is as someone who loves and does have the special editions of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. If you know, you know. But I also knocked off an entire star for that book, even though it's one of my favorite series, because the dog died. And I stand by that rating system. So, there's dust on my books. So, this could be for someone else to find out. I have read other W. Bruce Cameron books in the past, though, so he's a good author. Okay, Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder. This, I think, is a really cool cover, but once again, it's a book that has been on my shelves for too long, and I'm not interested anymore. The letter was short. A name, a time, a place. Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder plunges readers into the heart of London, to the secret tunnels that exist far beneath the city streets. There, a mysterious group of detectives recruited for Miss Brickett's investigations and inquiries use their cunning and gadgets to solve crimes that have stumped Scotland Yard. It sounds good, but we are making decisions. It does sound good. Okay. Let's do these first. Very easy. Emma, Pride and Prejudice. I got new editions over in January of these two books. I got a box set with Emma, Pride and Prejudice, and Sense and Sensibility. So I really do want to read these books, but I got what I think are better and prettier editions. Except Emma is really pretty, but it was a box set for like £3 for 3 books. So sorry, Emma, you're going away. But Pride and Prejudice, I think I got a much better edition. I will become a Jane Austen girly. I will. Okay. Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. I read Shadow and Bone and I did not like the series, so I'm sorry, but the Grishaverse is not for me. Insignificant events in the life of a cactus. At one point, I wanted to read a book set in every state, and this was for Arizona. And that is not my goal anymore. So I don't need this book anymore. Also, this is a kid's book. Very much a kid's book. Actually, so I guess I could announce this here. I'll be announcing it for a while, but I'm no longer doing the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. Ironically, it looks like the main character in here is Connor, which is the name of Mr. Stacking Pages, so it would have worked for the names that you know challenge if I did read this book, which I'm not going to. But yeah, I'm stopping the hardest reading challenge I ever do. At this point, I'm 50% through, so realistically, I can finish. But I'm very limited in what I can read for the next 6 months in order to finish the challenge. And it just doesn't seem worth it at this point. There's a lot of books that I really am interested in that doesn't fit challenges, so I just can't read them. There are a lot of other readathons coming up that I'm really excited to partake in, like the trans rights readathon for 2 weeks in March. And yeah, it was a really hard decision, but to end the challenge. But I think overall, I'm gonna be a lot happier just reading whatever I want and not having to worry about fitting everything into a prompt. Anyway, moving on. Dear Martin, this is the same thing as Dear Justice. I really just never got around to it, and if I do want to read it, I can just get it from the library. It's no big deal. Okay. Yes, no, maybe so. This book is about going door to door for voting, but the idea of them going door to door is giving me Mormon missionary vibes, and because of that, I have not been able to actually read this book. Also, it's a YA romance, and as someone who has read The Voting Booth, I feel like I have gotten my fix of YA romances related to getting people to vote. So, oh my god, this pile is gonna fall. Please don't follow me. Okay, The Terracotta Dog. I don't really have a reason for not wanting to read this. It's not the first in a series, which is like my main thing, but it's a cozy mystery, so you don't really need to read it. You don't really need to read it in order. It's kind of just a thing where I have so many cozy mysteries, and that is like one of the main genres that I first got into, get back into reading with. But at this point, I just don't read many cozy mysteries. I will like once in a while, just as like a palate cleanser kind of thing, but I really have to be in the mood for them. So this just no longer is really on my radar of what I like to read. Sally Rooney. Put some quotes in and maybe. Ooh, wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, no. Just kidding. I thought I saw a quote. That was a lie. Yeah, Sally Rooney. If you put quotes in your books, I won't rebuy them. But if you put quotes in your books, I will consider getting them from the library. Next. Tessa Bailey. Once again, I don't like Tessa Bailey's writing style, so this was really easy to decide. Okay. Next, Scarlet Letter. Wait. You're in the wrong pile. Go away. Okay. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I would only be interested in reading this in October, the same as or in spooky season, same as Mexican Gothic, and if I want to read it, I could just pick it up from the library. We gotta get going with these books. I've been talking way too long, but this cover is so cool. But this is it's Grady Hendrix, so I'm pretty sure that means that it's a horror, and I'm a little scaredy cat, so I don't know if I want to read a Grady Hendrix, to be honest. But that's why I'm getting rid of the book. It's very simple. I don't need to read it. Okay, The Hate You Give. I am really upset that I never actually got around to this book. Um, very certain that I'm going to end up probably getting it from the library, but it's just not something that I need to have on my shelves. Real Men Knit. Now, this book is a romance. It is not a YA romance, finally. But I just have had this on my shelf for so long, and every time I like think about picking it up, I just never want to. So it's really that simple. It just has not been on my radar properly. Is that for all the books that I haven't read? Oh my god, we did it! Part 1 of this video is done! Ah! Please don't destroy the books before I sell them. Okay. Are we ready for the books that I have unhauled because I have read them? This is probably not gonna be positive about these books. Some of them. You know what? Let's start with a positive. A Game of Thrones. I am getting rid of this book. I am unhauling this book because Mr. Second Pages has a beautiful edition of the entire series that I bought him. And I don't need a copy if he has the whole series, because in 2.5 years our libraries will combine. This book smells really good. I love this book. I will be continuing the series, but I don't need to own it because he has the whole series in a really cool edition. Thank you very much. All right, The Bookshop on the Corner. This was really disappointing to me. I've posted about this book. Yeah. My mom actually did love this book, which is ironic because I said that we do have a really similar taste, but I just did not like it, unfortunately. So I don't really remember now why I don't like it, why I didn't like it, but I just remember that I didn't like it. So that's gonna go over there. The Unexpected Inheritance of Inspector Chopra. Now, I did like this book, but it wasn't like my favorite. I think I gave it 3 stars. This is a fun, cozy mystery set in India, which I never read before. Never read a book set in India before. But yeah, it was fun, but it's not something that I need on my shelves. Like, I'm not gonna ever reread this book, and I am not gonna continue with the series. But it was a one-off. Oof. Murder at the Book Club. I DNF'd this book. It just threw out so many it like threw out every person in the book club in like 4 pages, and just assume that you'll remember like all of this details that they just threw at you. It's not a long book as well, but I got so confused and couldn't keep any of the characters apart in my mind. So bye bye. Let's speed round these book of the months. Boyfriend Project. I DNF this. It's about her like building an app to find a perfect man, or like she's creating her dream app and then just happens to find a man. I don't know. I attempted to read this, but I just wasn't interested. But people in my book club did love that book. So Darling Girl. I don't like retellings, so I attempted this because I do love Peter Pan, but I just really struggled to get into it because I don't like retellings. The Family Game. I love this book, but I'm never going to reread a thriller. I don't really understand the point of rereading thrillers, because once you find the twist, that's it, I feel like. But I did enjoy this one. And Cartographers. I have attempted to read this book like 4 times, and I do think that someone is going to absolutely love this book. It just wasn't for me. I really struggled with the like magical realism element of it, and I think it would have been really, really cool if it was just about like maps. I know it's about maps, but like I feel like if it was literally just about like the creation of maps, I would have enjoyed it more, which makes me such a nerd but I'm also doing a PhD in chemistry, so I'm aware that I'm a nerd. Okay. Let me hear a rhyme. I don't remember anything about this book, but I do remember that I read it. And since I don't remember anything about it, it's time to go somewhere else. Because it obviously did not leave enough of an impression. Clap When You Land. I love this book. Also, all of what's her name? Elizabeth Acevedo's books are gorgeous on the actual book. So this was a really fun book. I listened to this because this is a novel in verse, and I just find novel in verses for audiobooks to be you just get the rhythmic aspect so well. I am keeping The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, but I enjoyed that one more than this book, but it still is really good. I'm not gonna reread it, and if I do, I'm just gonna listen to the audiobook. So Fix Her Up, I was really disappointed because this is about a carpenter, and my fiance is a carpenter, so I thought it would be a fun book. Spencer, what are you doing? Why are you being a little scutch? You're being a worm. Okay. Yeah, I was just really disappointed in this book. So, oh, and it's by Tessa Bailey. This is the book that I decided I don't like her writing style. That makes sense. Okay, Felix Ever After. I just finished this book, and now I love a good trans representation. What I don't love is the only personality trait of someone being their identity. Also, in this book, Felix is a trans man. Until he starts getting Instagram messages saying that he's not a real boy. And then he's like, oh my god, maybe I'm not. I've been really struggling with my identity. But he has no inclination before that he's struggling. So he eventually finds the label of Demi Boy and finds that fits. But the whole idea that he wasn't even questioning his identity or didn't even have an inkling of questioning his identity until someone told him that he should not be a boy is just insane. And yeah, Felix Ever After. Next. This Train Is Being Held. I love this book. I actually just took tabs out of this because apparently I was trying to be a tab girly back in the day. I don't tab things. I just read. But yeah, it's a YA. Actually, I have quite a couple of books. Spencer! Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Okay, they fell on him. Okay, that's okay. Alright. Okay, baby. What are you doing? Oh. Alright. Alright. Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, sit on mommy's lap. Or go to your bed. That works too. Okay. He is okay in his cute little sweater. You made all the books fall, and then they fell on you. And you have a boogie in this eye down too. What are you doing? Why are you scratching at my rug? You know the rules. No touching my mommy's rug. No scratches. This stack of books are books that I adored as a YA reader. But now, as a 24-year-old, I don't need these on my shelves anymore. They're all YA romances, and I loved these books at the time. But now I want them to be in someone else's library who's gonna love them because, yeah, they're not for me anymore. We have Tweet Cute, making a new pile. The Upside of Falling. I Want to Be Where You Are. Charming as a Verb. What If It's Us? And This Train Is Being Held. Now, is there any other like these books fit a similar theme? Oh, yes, very obviously. Without Merit, It Ends With Us, and Heartbones. I have more. And Confess and November 9. Do I need to say anything? No. Okay, these are getting on hold. I'm very sorry that I ever was a Coho reader. Anyway, Serpent and Dove. I attempted this book multiple times and I just couldn't get into it. I am now more into like witchy type books, but at the time, I just didn't like witches. That was like last year. In the last like couple of months, I found some witchy books that I really loved, and they're all like cozy fantasies, not like actual like witchy books. So, The Cat Who Saved Books. I think this book is pretentious. Um, I have multiple videos out about this book, and I just think this book is pretentious and likes to say what is or isn't a reader, and we're not for that. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I just DNF'd this like 2 days ago. Um, this is about a girl who has fibromyalgia, and which is chronic pain condition, but it's like her only personality trait, and also the main male love interest is just really boring to me, and I just couldn't get into this book, and I was like either forcing myself through it or just not reading to avoid the book. Neither is a good thing. Okay. A Most Curious Murder. I have DNF'd this book. And also this book has the lowest out of all of my books. This book has the lowest rating on Storygraph and Goodreads. So maybe my DNF was worth it. Maybe this just isn't a good book, and that's okay. The Voting Booth. I also love this book. I read it a couple of months ago, and I mean, I would have loved it if I was younger when I read it. So, like, that kind of went into my rating. So, I rated it kind of low, but I acknowledge that, like, if I read this younger, I would have absolutely adored it. And I think it's really important for anyone who, let's go to this. Okay, anyone who is like a new voter to understand the importance of voting. Okay, would like to meet. I read this book and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite, or at least I'm never gonna reread it. And it wasn't like it wasn't impressionable enough for me to like love it, but I did really enjoy the book. It's about this woman who has to prove um that it is possible to meet a man in real life the way it happens in movies as a meet cute and not just like on apps and stuff, which it definitely is possible to meet someone like that. I mean, Connor and I, everyone asks us if we met online because he's British and I'm American, but we actually met. Both of our universities attended a research undergrad conference. They had this gala, which was the best way I could explain it is like what British people think prom is. The conference was held in the UK, and neither of us dance, but independently, not knowing each other, we both had the thought of I don't know anyone here and I won't see anyone ever again, so might as well go up and dance and have fun. We don't dance in public, I should say. And then we were next to each other on the dance floor and started dancing, and then like started talking and texting that night. And then just have never stopped talking and texting. But you definitely can just meet people in the wild. In the wild. So that is, possible. Um, but she had to prove that you can meet someone like a rom com. And it was a fun book, so I would recommend it, but I just don't want to keep it on my shelves. Next is Holidays on Ice. This is a collection of short stories. I really struggle with short stories. I did read this book, but I struggle with short stories because I find like one story that I absolutely love and then I kind of grudge through the rest of them. So short story collections really just aren't for me, unfortunately. Lore Olympus. I enjoyed this. I wasn't as obsessed as everyone else who like read this on um webtoons was, but I did enjoy this book. But and I do want to continue this series, but I would rather just get them from my library. Like I don't need to own this heft of a book. Um but I'm sure there's someone out there who's really going to enjoy it. These are both nonfiction that I've attempted, and they're too dense for me. I I am currently working on my PhD in chemistry. I read research papers all the time. I read dense material all the time. I work with dense material. So when I read, I want to have fun. So Exposure and Mindhunter are two nonfiction books that one day I might pick up from the library, but I don't need to own them, and also my brain needs to relax when it gets home, not just read heavy nonfiction books. Oh, this one's easy. I don't like retellings. This was also a Peter Pan retelling, and I thought that Peter Pan retellings would help me get over my I don't like retellings because I love Peter Pan. It didn't help, so that also is getting unhauled. I am like overwhelmed, but we're almost through. I'm just like tired of talking, and I feel like this video is actually going to be really boring. Okay, let's do some more book of the months. I got 3 more book of the months. The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. I cannot tell you a single thing this was about. I DNF'd it like 10 pages in from March of 2020. I did actually read this in March 2020, so I was impressed by myself. Anyway, The X Hex. I did not like this book. I have a video about why I didn't like this book, but this is also when I thought that I didn't like maybe magical realism, which I take back now. I actually do like magical realism because that falls a lot into like cozy fantasy. I just didn't like this book. And I do like witchy books, I just didn't like this book. And that's okay, because someone is going to love it, because this series is super, super popular. And Rock, Paper, Scissors, once again, love this book, but it's a thriller, so I don't need it on my shelves because I'm never, ever going to read it again, because I already know the twists, the turns, the everything. We have Fence Volume 1. I actually sold Volumes 2, 3, and 4 a couple of months ago, but Volume 1 is still sitting here. It needs a home. Someone please take him. I kind of struggle with graphic novels. I feel like I just like, I don't know. I don't feel like I absorb the art as I'm supposed to, and I'm just like reading dialogue. So that's a me thing. Maybe I need to just learn how to be better. But Sheets, Sheets, I was a little disappointed. I kind of hyped this book up in my head so much that by the time I actually got to read it, I was a bit disappointed, but it's still really cute, and the art style is so pretty. I love the color choices. And it's just gorgeous. Also, I literally read this book like this because I didn't want to bend the spine. But yeah, the color is gorgeous. The art style is so cute. But I disappointed myself because I waited so long to read this, unfortunately. The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Once again, Diana, when are you going to ever read a wartime historical fiction? Now, I did read like half of this, but it's just not for me. It takes me a lot to get into a historical fiction, and I've explained this in another video, but I more like historical fictions about like scorned women and like how society has scorned women. Those are like fun historical fictions. This is kind of just depressing historical fiction. And a lot is going on in the world right now that I need to escape when I read, and not read sad books. So that's going to go there. And the Scarlet Letter. I hate the Scarlet Letter. I have talked ad nauseum about the Scarlet Letter, so I'm not even going to go through it. But the Scarlet Letter, it's a pretty copy. It's fun. It's a set. They make like these all like in a set and stuff, but I'm not going to talk about that because I've literally gone over that book so many times on this channel, and I just hate that book. Anyway, The Simple Wild. This was a book club book back in like 2021, 2022. I think 2021. And it's good. I enjoyed the K. Tucker Also, can we talk about like what is this Pinterest girl moment that's happening on the cover? That is kind of insane. But it's about this girl who goes to Alaska and then finds love. um and it's about like, oh my god, oh my god, you don't have why is everything in the grocery store so expensive? Why, like, it's like a, you got dropped in Alaska and didn't do any research kind of thing. So it's a fun book, but I just don't need it on my shelves because I'm not going to pick it up again, and I think someone else could really enjoy it. Work in progress. So I have had people. This was a book for my book club. Um, a couple of months ago, maybe in August or September, and I was really excited because I just went to Scotland before this, and it's set in all of the UK, but it's with a Scot. Um, and what are my qualms about this book? Well, I feel like they didn't represent Wales enough, and as someone who's going to be moving to Wales, I feel like they should have represented Wales more. And besides that, I didn't like the main female protagonist. I think this book would have been more fun without her, to be honest. But some people in my book club did actually love this book, and it does have really good reviews. I just was not in that opinion of it. So it could be really fun to go pick up. Hani and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. This book also went into into my decision to not read YA romances anymore. This was very cute, but I think I would have enjoyed it if I was younger. Um, it has some bisexual. It's a sapphic romance about a girl who comes out to her friends as bisexual, but they don't believe that she can be bi because she's never been with a girl. So she creates this whole fake relationship and then has to convince the girl that she said she was in a relationship with to actually be in a fake relationship with her. But little does she know is that that girl actually is queer and just isn't out to her parents. So they become a fake relationship. You can guess what happens. But it's a really cute story, and I did really enjoy it. But a younger Diana would have appreciated it more. Next, we have Murder in a Scottish Shire. I really did enjoy this book, but it's once again a thing where I haven't decided if I'm going to continue the series. I'm going to try the second book to see if I want to continue the series. But once again, I can just get these books from the library. I don't need to own them. The dog is very cute though, and the cover is so cute, and I love all the yarn. And I do want to continue reading it. It's a cozy mystery series following a woman who owns a yarn shop. So it was really fun, and I will honestly probably read the second book like soonish. I have to put that on my library card so I don't forget. I'll do that before I finish up this video. But yeah, it was really really cute, but I don't need to own the book. And finally, we have Lunch Ladies, another short story collection. Um Once again, I really struggle to even get into short story collections, but this did have some like amazing quips and amazing stories. I'm not really the target audience for short stories, unfortunately, but I think it still is a really fun book. And that is every book. That was a lot of books. I am going to get these uploaded to Pengo now, so that will be up by the time this video comes out. And I am just really excited to continue utilizing my resources like I have. I've really been getting a lot of library books lately. I've been using Libby a lot for audiobooks and ebooks. I've gotten rid of Kindle Unlimited. I have chunks of the year where I buy books. For example, around Christmas and the New Year, I get some new books. Around my birthday, I get some new books. But I think that besides that, and besides getting a book of the month, I've been actually really good at reading a lot more than I am buying each year, which I think is really important. Please feel free to browse Pango, don't feel like you need to. But if anything seemed interesting, head over there. I'm very excited to continue making videos this year and to continue talking about books that I love, books that I didn't love. I'm recording a January wrap up soon, which will be out soon. And I've had a lot of mixed books this month, so I'm very excited to talk about them and to rant about a couple of them. Spoilers, a couple of them are in these piles. But all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those YouTube things. And I will catch you in the next video.